Y'all know something that I really hate to see? I hate to talk to somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, I just looked on Zillow and the house that I grew up in is worth 3 to 4 to 5 times more than what my mom or my dad sold it for. And I hate hearing stories like this because it reminds me of this article I read in Forbes. Forbes in 2022 said the median Black household income for African Americans is $44,900 versus white households median net worth was at $285,000. You know what that gap is? Is real estate. Let me prove it to you. Let's fast forward to land, okay? Let's fast forward to when Black Americans at its peak owned the most land it's ever owned in the United States. And guess when that was? It wasn't 2026. It wasn't 2020. It was 1910. In 1910, y'all, Black Americans owned between 14 to 16 million acres of land. Okay. Guess what that number is today? Only 1.1 million acres of land. That's about a 90% drop. It's significant. And you know the single biggest driver to the loss of land? It wasn't a bunch of folks selling the properties. It was heir property. Heir property is when you pass down the land from one generation to the next without a will. USDA said that this is the single most highest cause of Black Americans losing their land. So in today's episode, this is near and dear to my heart, by the way. I'm going to walk you through some steps you could take to allow this to not happen to your family. If you're new here, my name is Erica Brown. I'm a serial entrepreneur and real estate investor, and I teach people how to build wealth with real estate, entrepreneurship, in a way that's a little non-traditional, okay? My goal is to help you to not burn out, to help you to not drain your savings, and to enjoy the process while doing it, all right? So if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss one episode. Let's get into it. Okay, so quick note, I am not an attorney. So I do encourage you, if you relate to this video and you are trying to figure out how to manage an heir property situation or how to try to avoid the heir property situation, I definitely recommend you talk to an attorney, okay? But in this episode, I'm sharing you my experience and my experience helping other people navigate the challenges that come with this, okay? Cool, let's jump into it. So I meet people all the time, whether it's at my conferences, events, I talk to people online, and more than ever, we are now in this information age where we're learning information. We understand the power of real estate and wealth. And I talk to people all the time that are trying to navigate through how to buy their parents' property, how to manage an heir property, some family land, some type of situation in their family, and they're really not sure on what to do next. I've watched it more than once. Someone passes away, they left the house, it feels like a blessing until it doesn't. I've actually personally experienced this in my family. And unfortunately, people act different when money gets involved, okay? Relationships can be totally lost, and I don't want that for you. I do not want this thing that our ancestors worked really, really hard to gain to then end up dividing us as a family, okay? Y'all know the story. One sibling wants it, one wants to keep it, one doesn't. One wants all this money. One wants to maintain it and turn it into an Airbnb. You guys have heard the story. Y'all know what's going on. Nobody agrees on anything or communicates. What happens next? The taxes fall behind. It ends up going to tax auction. It's sold for pennies on the dollar. An investor comes and scoops it up and buys it, puts all this money into it and sells it for millions later. We have seen that play out so many places in our cities, especially even more when our cities are now experiencing a huge gentrification. Every major city in the United States is experiencing gentrification. So we see properties that have been totally transformed, and what happens? The wealth has left the family. So here's what you can do so this doesn't happen to you. Number one, make sure your paperwork is in place while the person is living. And this could be difficult to navigate. Maybe you're the person who owns the real estate and you are wanting to pass down your assets that you work really hard for your next generation. Trust me. Let me tell you this, the best thing you can do is to ensure you have your paperwork in order, whether it's a will or a trust. You could get both, and it doesn't have to be totally expensive. In our particular family, our uncle was able to take my husband's grandfather and fill out the trust paperwork, have it notarized, and that was actually legally binding. It didn't have to pay an attorney. It didn't have to do all the things, especially if you don't have a ton of assets. But being able to have that trust was able to help the wealth transfer happen without having to deal with all the things that happen in divide relationships and families. So if you're here and you're listening and it's important to you to build generational wealth, to be able to pass on your asset to the next generation, please get a will or get a trust. Okay. Again, there's lots of online platforms that can help you there. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it's really important that you're able to do that now so you can make it much easier for the next generation. If you aren't the person that's passing on the asset, maybe you're like me and you're the older daughter. Because the older daughters, we get things done. Okay. You're the older daughter, the older son. All right. Or whatever your role is. I need you to have a good conversation with your mama, your daddy, your grandma. Okay. Make it easy for them. All right. Make it easy for them. Get the paperwork together, set up the meeting. This is a perfect time during the holidays, maybe come a day earlier, have a conversation with them, see what they want to do, what their goal is, and to go ahead and help the process by getting the paperwork together so that they're prepared ahead of time. Help them to see and help them to understand that you appreciate how they have worked hard to be able to create an asset and how they can use that asset to help fund and help the next generations to come by being able to get the paperwork ready on the front end. One of the things with this process of making sure the paperwork is done is also making sure there's a clear title. Okay. Making sure that there's not a bunch of liens on the property, especially if the person that's passing away has gotten a divorce previously or anything like that. It's really important to make sure there's a clear title, because that's another reason why heir property ends up happening, is because you have all these things that you weren't aware of, and then the person passes away and now the family just now find out about this. And unfortunately, sometimes people find out too late. Real quick, let me tell you about something so good I had to make it free. I need you to hear me. It's not that you're having a money problem or a discipline problem. You're having a one income problem. Okay. Over the years, I created 8 streams of income. So I do not have all my eggs in one basket. And so I created a free 7-day course where I'm breaking down each income strategy, what it is and how I got into it, how much you need to start, which is not much, and what the income potential is with the particular stream of income. Okay. It's so good. It's so juicy. I deliver it right to your email for 7 days straight. And then at the end of the 7 days, you are going to be ready to take your next step and start earning some additional income. So if you're ready for that, go to the show notes, click the link, and then I'll email it over to you. Okay, back to the episode. All right, the next point is to get the family on the same page. All right, it's time to have a family meeting. Because here's the thing, a home does not get lost in the courtroom. A home gets lost at the kitchen table. This is where disagreements are born. Grief has a way of bringing out so many different emotions, and people grieve differently. Some people become anxious. Some people stay in sadness. Some people become avoidant. The smart thing to do is to begin having these family meetings when emotions are not involved. Okay. When things aren't as heightened, that's the perfect time to sit down as a family, see, and be able to discuss. When this person transitions, what do you want? Do you want to keep the house? Do you want to sell the house? If you want to just get your portion, can we talk about how much, it will cost for me to buy you out? It's important to begin having these conversations. What are the person's needs? It's not just real estate. There's so many other things that are involved with transitioning a loved one. I lost my dad. It will be probably when this episode airs exactly 5 years. And thankfully, I have a great relationship with my sister. So we were able to navigate the process pretty easily. But when you are already in the thick of battling grief, whether it is someone that you expect to transition or not, it's hard. It's a lot. And not only are you dealing with their financial matters, you have the stuff that you have to take care of too. So it's important, if you can, to sit down, find out where all the things are, understand, what people, if they already know how involved they want to be or not, so you can begin creating a plan and understanding things before the heat of the moment when emotions are high and you're dealing with grief. Real quick, while I have you, let me ask you a question. If you keep telling yourself you're gonna get into real estate finally when the time feels right, but it's been years now and it just really hasn't ever felt right, or maybe you've got the money, but you just keep talking yourself out of the deal. Maybe you already own a couple doors and this year just the numbers just haven't worked well. Insurance has went up, taxes, interest rates haven't went down. Either way, you're stuck and you're trying to figure it out by yourself, but you just can't figure out what to do next. I get it because I've lived it and I've also been there. I built a almost 40 door portfolio in a market that looked just like this one. And I didn't do it with the guru math or all that hype. I did it with real numbers and real community. That's why we're all coming together for one last time this November at the Owning It and Living It experience, November 13th through 15th, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be 3 days of real strategy, really helping you figure out the exact moves that are working right now. And this room helps you finally make yours too. This is the final year. This is the last one. So you want to make sure you're in the room. Grab your ticket before the next price increase. The prices are going up soon. And when this event is over, it's over for good. Go to owningitandlivingitexperience.com and claim your seat today. You were never meant to build this alone. Come build it with us. Number 3, put the home in some type of legal entity or structure. So again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an estate planner. So the type of trust, whether it's irrevocable, revocable, all those things, I will refer you to an expert. And if you are a part of my community, you know that we have estate planning and attorneys and wealth planner experts within our community that help my clients break this down even more. But I do recommend you do that. So let me share with y'all a dream that we are working on doing for our family, for me and my boys and my husband. We plan to create a family estate. We want to invest in land. So one of the things that we're going to do within the next 10 years, God willing, is that we will be investing in a significant amount of land. We want to have, multiple dwellings on it. We want to use it for weddings, events. We may have animals, grow some animals on there. And one of the things that's really important for us is that we're going to create a family estate. So we're going to be able to put that entity, the home structure, into a trust so that from generations to come, not only will this protect the property, I will be able to manage this from the grave. Okay. So we will be able to decide what it's used for, what it's not used for. The revenue that the property makes will be able to pay for itself to continue to fund the trust. And then my family lineage will always have a place that they can go to, that they can also benefit from, they can go back to if they need it within our family. And so it's important that not only do you work super hard to set all that up, you want to make sure you're able to legally protect it. So the beautiful thing about a trust is that it's you being able to enforce your wishes beyond the grave. The final point I would mention, again, I actually work with a number of people who I'm walking through the process of acquiring their family home, or maybe they've already inherited family home and they're trying to figure out what is the best way for me to actually be able to turn this into an income generating asset. I do that all day. I have a client last year. She really wanted to buy her mother's home. And I see this actually pretty often, more often than not, where we have our parents who have been in their homes for a really long time. They, ball down the equity. But what happens is, because they don't make a significant amount of money, they start having a lot of repairs and delayed maintenance, do whatever. So, and if they don't have the money to fix the delayed maintenance, then they're trying to figure out how to navigate that. I've helped a number of people be able to acquire their parents' home, help them to find the funding. I've been able to help them to find the funding to then do the renovations necessary to be able to bring the home up to par and to increase the value, and then be able to turn that family home into an income generating asset. All right. And so there's a lot of steps involved with that, but all that to say is that if you have an asset and you just don't know how to tap into it, that's what I do all day. I help you figure out the financing, connect you with the right people, walk you through the entire step of how to do that so that you can make this an income generating asset that actually pours into your family. One of the beautiful things I'm going to share this story and I hope I don't cry. But so my dad, I told you, he passed away 5 years ago, around this time. And he went through a whole lot in his life, whole lot in his life. And if you know the story I've shared, you know, he's like one of my biggest heroes. He started from nothing. He didn't even know how to read, y'all. And he did so well for himself. He did so well for my family. So a couple of years before he passed, I happened to be in town for his birthday. And I remember we went out to breakfast and I was asking him, like, what do you want for your birthday? Tell me what you want for your birthday. At the time, him and my mom had divorced. He was renting again and working his business that he was doing full time. So, you know, this was the situation. And he was like, I just want you to help me buy a house. I want you to help me buy a house. I want to be able to leave something to you and your sister. He didn't want nothing else. He just wanted me to help him buy a house. I said, bet. Again, older daughter, when you tell me that you need something, I'm going to make sure you do it. And so, a year before he passed away, we were able to help him buy a house as a business owner who received Social Security, y'all. I was able to help him to buy a house in Dallas. And it is a, you know, very nice house. He lived in that house for about a year or so before he passed away. And then, so that house was able to be inherited to my sister and I. We were able to take advantage of the low interest rates. It's been a rental for the last 5 years. And we have been able to cash flow it. And now we have an income generating asset plus appreciation in one of the top markets in the United States. All because my daddy, with a 6th grade education, y'all, had a desire to leave something for his children. And that asset has already blessed my sister and I so much and will continue to bless us and the next generation with us. So if you relate to this episode and you want help, you want somebody to walk you through step by step, hands-on, to help you or your family. I have had conversations with families, with mothers and daughters. Like, I have a mother and daughter in my mastermind right now, and they are building on their family land. Okay. So if you need help managing your family legacy or starting a new legacy, and you want someone that you can trust, someone that you're aligned with to help you walk you through it, I encourage you to go to the link below, book a call with me. Let's get on the phone and let's see if I'm a good fit to help you. All right. Share this with someone who needs to hear this, y'all, because I want this to be different in our community. I want to look 20 to 30 years from now and see that median net worth be triple. And guess what? There is an agenda out there. I'm about to get on my soapbox. If you're still watching, thank you. There is an agenda out there by the super wealthy, if you ask me, that's telling you don't own real estate. Don't own real estate. Why? They buying up all the land. They buying up all the real estate. Okay. 90% of millionaires invest in real estate. Okay. So I don't want us to get distracted. I don't want us to lose hope. I want us to be able to maximize the current resources that we have. And if we don't do anything else, if we just own a home, pay it off, and pass this to the next generation, we're helping them start off much better than we have. Okay. Thanks again for watching another episode of Wealth Within Reach. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.